sees the memes of production, and the like and subscribe button. Trump is signing an executive order right now to ban trans people from doing sports or something. That sounds about right. That kind of fits in with my preconceived notions of him, you know? W's in the chat. Oh, wow, lots of W's in the chat.
Years of this we went through, and Mr. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is a nice crowd, isn't it, huh? You've been waiting a long time.
Oh, you got
for this.
female athletes here,
So
I
have
assume?
Actually,
Because they're wearing,
so
like,
ridiculous.
sporty clothes?
But here we are.
Here we go, banning biological males from women's sports in schools. You're only playing into their greater plan here. You're gonna force more trans women into being gamers.
This doesn't have to be long. It's just all about common sense. Doesn't have to be long. In a few moments, I'll sign a historic executive order to ban men from competing in women's sports. It's about time.
Yippee!
Under the Trump administration, we will defend the proud tradition of female athletes, and we will not allow men.
Man, until they discovered trans people, you wouldn't see it today, but like women's sports were despised by conservatives. It was not only did they not care about, to say they didn't care about them would actually be misrepresentative. They politically despised them because they hated female athleticism, because they didn't like women being strong. Like, they despised it. And only now do they pretend. Yeah, they still do. When you hear conservatives talk about female athletes in a non-trans context, they are like just outright cruel mockery. Like, they don't respect it as a concept at all. They're so hateful towards women, you know? They hate women. So, you know what? To all trans women, you know, that's a gender-affirming indicator right there, that they hate you so much that conservatives hate you. That must mean you're women.
Beat up, injure, and cheat our women and our girls. From now on, women's sports will be only for women.
What if I dislike sports in general? You should still like it when girls at the bar are muscly, okay? Let's not do the like but all kinds here or whatever. You understand.
But before going
Then there you
further, I
go.
want to share some very exciting news from our military. After years of shrinking force numbers at levels that nobody has ever seen before, 4 years of this we went through, and missed recruiting targets every single month. It was just announced that in December, the U.S. Army had its single best recruitment in more than 15 years.
What does that have to do with this?
Every single day, nearly 350 new soldiers enlisted to defend our nation. And they're very, very happy to have.
Is that Riley
so.
Gaines in the background? Probably. Literally her entire career is being the person who failed. Like that. Like, this is all she has. You know, kind of like a DEI effort.
Lots of interviews, and we asked why this was taking place now, and they just said there's a spirit about our country that they haven't seen in many, many years, and I happen to agree with that. But it really is clear proof that the spirit is sweeping our armed forces, and we have a great.
I'm sorry, weren't we talking
Pete.
about?
As you know, we all know Pete so well.
Trans athletes? Why are we on the military recruitment
So many
now?
of our great heroes, and people are starting to understand what hero is all about. So that is the concept of biological
Okay, there we go.
lunacy out of our military.
Okay, the woke lunacy in the military. Gotcha.
And now we're very importantly getting it out of women's sports. That's
Okay, there we
taking
go.
place very strongly. So in recent years, the radical left has waged an all-out campaign to erase the very concept of biological sex and replace it with a militant transgender ideology. You've heard a little bit about this, haven't you? Huh? Just a
God, she looks creepy, doesn't she? Riley Gaines. It's like the Mar-a-Lago woman effect. Like, all of them end up converging to the same basic phenotypical structure.
little bit. Does anybody agree with them? No. Would be not a good thing to say yes right here. Female athletes have been forced onto the front lines, and men claiming to be girls have stolen more than 3,500 victories. That's a lot. And invaded more than 11,000 competitions designed for women. Last year, a male cyclist posing as a woman competed in the 800-mile Arizona Trail Race, a very big deal in cycling.
Good for her.
And obliterated the women's course record by nearly 5.5 hours.
Good for her.
Sounds like a lot, doesn't it, huh? 5.5 hours. So, but you have to hear the weightlifting records. You think that's bad. The weightlifting's worse. In 2023, a man and women...
He doesn't give a fuck about that. Nah, he's never given a shit about trans issues. He literally, like, it wasn't as much of a thing during his first term. Remember when he was gunning up for his second term? And he was like, people go crazy when I talk about this. I don't know why.
His power lifting broke 2 world records and outlifted his closest female opponent in one event by 440 pounds.
Based.
And they continue to defend themselves.
Is he talking about this where it was 5 minutes and not 5 hours? Probably. Yeah, there we go. 5 minutes, not 5 hours. I mean, who the care? Like, he again, it's like if he ever says anything, you should assume he's lying. I don't like. I'm not. I can't. We can't do it for everything. He won the youth vote by 36%. Yeah. We know.
Mr. Congressman, you know that, right? They continue to defend themselves. We hope they continue onward because I don't think we can lose a race. This was one of the big reasons that we all won, and it's one of the big reasons that we had a record, a landslide like they haven't seen before, very often anyway. And who could forget last year's Paris Olympics where a male boxer stole the women's gold medal after brutalizing his female opponent?
This one's actually still crazy to me because she's literally a cisgender woman. Like, there's a lawsuit going on the... I mean, I guess it doesncan matter, right? Like, weren't the Nazis saying, like, the Jews had horns or whatever? I mean, it's not like it doesn't matter how ridiculous the lie is. You can just, they can just say whatever they want. They cling so hard to this. This is insane. I do think that most of the people who hear this know they're lying. They just don't care because they hate women anyway, you know?
Viciously that she had to forfeit just after 46 seconds, and she was a championship fighter. And actually, they had 2 women or 2 people that transitioned, and both of them won gold medals, and they won them very convincingly. But all of that ends today because with this executive order, the war on women's sports is over.
I'm going to be so misogynist now. Now that I know no trans women are catching strays, it's time for us to let them know how we really feel about women's sports.
Thank you, everybody.
By the way, absolutely incredible to pull from a crowd, like to build a crowd pulled exclusively from female athletes and for every single person there to be white. That's pretty impressive, you know? That seems like a conscious decision one might make, you know? Like, seriously, that's statistically improbable. There's one black woman, is there? There's one black lady. The woman at the very top left ain't white. Well, I don't see race, so it's not, you know, it's not really something I'm meant to speak on. He's covering the only black woman right now. The one in the white, like he's blocking. That's funny. Oh, I see. Right there in the camera frame, like to make sure.
Should have been done long ago, actually. Thank you. Thank you very much. With my action this afternoon, we're putting every school receiving taxpayer dollars on notice that if you let men take over women's sports teams or invade your locker rooms, you will be investigated for violations of Title IX and risk your federal funding. There will be no federal funding.
With the Department of Education being closed down, how much federal funding are these schools going to be receiving anyway? Like, you know, the federal government might lose its ability to, you know, exercise this particular kind of pressure, you know?
So this will effectively end the attack on female athletes at public K-12 schools.
It's over.
And virtually all U.S. colleges and universities. I don't think we've missed anything, but if we do, we'll make it up very quickly with an order, and I don't think we will at all. I want to, before we go on, I want to thank so many people that have worked so hard in the political establishment, and they're before me largely. And I think I'm going to miss a few. It always happens when you do this, but it's just one of those things. But we have many senators here, many governors here, many state attorneys generals here. They're all over the place, actually. I see. Some of them went after me, but they failed.
Uh-huh. Y'all, this is so nauseating, all the lies. Yeah, but like, you have to expect this because, again, nobody's life is going to be made better from the Trump administration, so they need to open with like a salvo of every virtue signal and culture war talking point they've been brewing up for the past decade. And then we're in for long, long years of everything getting worse. And when they get worse, all Trump will be able to do is go like, well, I guess there was a bit of DEI left. I told you I got rid of the DEI, but it looks like I missed a spot. And then they'll just keep doing that, forever.
And they're really friends, and they're friends of women's sports, that I can tell you. So Senator Marsha Blackburn, where's Marsha? Hi. Senator Katie Britt. Thank you, Katie.
All right, this shit boring. Move on.
Virginia, thank you, Glenn. Good race. Almost always. Very good. Are you feeling good? He had a bad fall. You doing all right, huh?
Does this EO include trans men? I don't think so. But trans men don't exist, according to conservative ideology, so.
Good. You look great. Brad Little. Brad, thank you, Brad. Good job. Good job. Do you like education going back to your state? You'll make it top, right? Just so people understand, in the education world, we're ranked very, very poorly. We're 38, 39, and 40 out of 40 countries. We're at the bottom of the pack almost always, or very close to it. That just came out. We're 40 out of 40. And if we move it back to the states, I will guarantee you that if you take Idaho, you take Iowa, you take almost any of the states that I'm looking at right now, they'll be as good as Norway. You have Sweden, you have Denmark. I must say you have China that's very high in the pack, which is no longer, we can say it has to be a small area. China is very big, but they do a very good job. But we'll have at least 35 of our states that will be as good or better.
Plane accident at SeaTac? Oh yeah, sorry about that. That's why I was an hour late. What happened? Planes collide on taxiway at SeaTac Airport Wednesday morning. No injuries reported. Okay, just a little bit of fun. Just playing a little bit of bumper cars on the the plane driveways. That's all good. Just a little beep beep. Just another woke DEI plane crash? No, because the taxiing plane was Japan Airlines, and there are no black people in Japan, so it can't be DEI.
Than any of those countries, and we have to get it done. Attorney General Steve Marshall. Steve, thank you very much.
Moving on.
It happened, but nobody wants to go through that. Yeah. It's amazing. Tom Emmer doing a fantastic job. Thank you, Tom.
Nope, just naming people.
A very shy person, and but she's trying to break out
Jesus Christ, she looks uncanny. Look at that, man.
of it. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, we missed the most important one.
Victoria Spartz. Thank you, Victoria. Hi, Claudia Fishbach. Oh, are you a
now we're
believer
caught up
in
to
what
live.
we're doing,
Okay.
Nancy? Nancy takes it on right from the start,
Nancy
right?
Mace,
Would you like to say something?
warrior
Would you
of
like
the
to
women's
say we're doing
bathrooms.
the right thing? Good. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nancy. Stephanie Bice, Oklahoma. Thanks, Stephanie. Diana Harshbarger. Thanks,
These fucking
Diana.
names, man.
Good job. Tim Burchett. Tim, I watched you on television the other day. You were unbelievable. You ripped that guy apart. Man, that poor guy, he started getting a little fresh with Tim, and Tim just ripped him apart. That was beautiful. I actually left a message. That's good. Great job, Tim. That was great.
Typical Midwestern German names. Yeah, I suppose there's lots
Monica
of them
De
there.
La Cruz. Monica.
Deep South ass last names. Incorrect.
Ronnie Jackson. Ronnie.
That was a German last name, and a lot of the Germans are in the Midwest or the Great Plains. Bible Belt names? No. You get like lots of Spanish, French, and Anglo last names there. Argentina too. I don't know what an Argentinian last name. Oh, you mean Germans in Argentina? Oh, Polish, Polish. Yes, yes, yes. I should know, shouldn't I? I should know about Polish last names. So he's just gonna do this forever now?
In the White House. He was the White House.
Okay, he's just gonna talk. He's just talking. What's the live chat looking like? Dubs, we still got W? Trump train, freak show gone. Riley is a honey, a real woman. You're fired, get him out of there. Emperor Trump, Obama, that's pretty true. America is back, common sense is back. Trump is a goat, the real MVP, etc., etc. Hungry Mike, go watch The View already. Daddy Trump. Congrats, ladies. Anyone with a third gender option on ID/driver's licenses, they should be voided. Egg. From Truth Nation Uncensored. Thought he hates women. Laughing, crying emoji ×9. Clown emoji ×6. The cross. Putting the L in LGBTQ. That's pretty true. Dabbing emoji. Britain needs Donald Trump. Fix Britain. Exclamation point, exclamation point. Ooh, there were some cats in boxes up there. All pretty good. Reading comments is just gonna make you sad. Maybe it'll make you sad. I'm made of a sterner stuff.
What a good man. A really good man. Also, some friends of ours, Sage Steele, has been very strong on the issue. Sage, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I think he really is just going to read names forever. He might die there. This might just be the end for him. I don't see any reason why I need to continue to consume that.